Hello, everybody. Hello. Check 1 2. Let me know if I'm coming in fine. I'm hoping I am. I'm hoping. I'm hoping I'm smooth and I'm not choppy and everything is gonna be okay. Um, I'm thinking last time that I was trying to do an update on my computer while trying to stream, and it was a horrible idea. So how am I coming in? Do I sound good? Does everything look good? Let me know. Loud and clear, looking good. Thank God. We should be good, guys. It wasn't a restream thing that I think. It was actually just me trying to. And yes, tonight's special guest. I have a Pizzle Blu-ray review playlist in the back. So somebody send this to Piz. Pizzle's gonna be playing in the background tonight. I figured why not. He's one of my heroes. Thank you so much, Quentin Loves Trains and Horror Movies, for the $4.99 super chat. Happy birthday to Alice Cooper. He's the king of rock and roll, and he's my #1 favorite singer. Well, cheers to that. That makes two of us, good sir. That makes absolutely two of us, and for that, I'm going to give you a super chat clip. Thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, we're going to have some fun tonight. I'm excited to hang out with you guys tonight. I'm going to try and stream more this year and make it like a part of my routine because I want to make sure I'm really connected to my audience and be able to talk to you guys in real time, because me responding to comments on YouTube, it's difficult. I spend more time recording videos than responding to comments, to be honest with you. So I don't really get to respond to you guys as much as I would like to. So doing live shows where I can actually talk to you guys on a routine basis makes things a lot easier. So with that being said, let's see who we have here tonight. We have Austin Cullett, King Matthew the Third. How are you? Ninja Alex, TMNT Collector 2000. How are you? John Warner, how are you? Saturn Video, what's up, Saturn Video? Beyond the Grave Media, how are you? Perry Fan 49, that's right. Alice Cooper's birthday, how are you? Combikoilag, how do you say that? How are you? Good to see you. Sorry if I butchered that. Combicoil, whatever. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Robert, how are you? Take Scare, how are you? Good. I'm glad everything's looking good. Like I said, I don't think it was a restream. I like restream. I think most of the people here have actually came back to me and said, "Hey, I know restream's good. I like the layout and everything." It wasn't necessarily a problem with them. I was trying to update my computer while doing a stream the other night. Charlie, how are you? Sean Senior, how are you? Quentin, how are you? Aaron, how are you? Xbit Sam, how are you? Clever Ghost, how are you? Good to see everybody tonight. It's good to see everybody here tonight. Thank you all for being here. John says this is his first time catching a live. Well, dude, it's awesome to have you with us. It's awesome to have you with us here tonight. I want to have some fun tonight, guys. You know how we usually do. We'll go an hour and change. I want to talk about physical media for 2025, kind of update you guys on what's coming on the channel. I will say this for those. I like to give a little sneak peeks to people in live shows. So I just watched this before the show. I watched Street Trash 2024. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was better than the original. I didn't think it was better than the original, but I enjoyed it, and I will do a review on this release. Vinegar Syndrome absolutely slaughtered this Blu-ray. This is gorgeous. And this movie I'm getting ready to watch after this show, after I film a couple videos. This was recommended to me by Garrett from Born to Be Red, Backcountry. And for the people in here that are maybe seeing this that might have saw my Instagram post earlier today, I'll say this. This is an IFC and Scream Factory Blu-ray, and everybody that commented on that post I made today said, "Yo, that's a great movie." So I'm really excited for Backcountry. The other thing I want to show you guys is Sydney got me this book. I do actually read a little bit. I don't know if you guys knew that. I do read a little bit. Sydney got me this book, George Romero and Daniel Krauss, The Living Dead, a new novel. It's a very big book, but I breezed through the first 2 chapters. I have about 20 or 30 pages left of Unmasked, the Kane Hodder story. I really enjoyed that. So, people in there, like I see Saturn Video patrons tonight, you guys will be able to get the access to the Street Trash review tonight. But I'm also going to be, get ready for this, guys. And thank you for we got 115 people in here with us tonight. Like I said, special appearances by Pizow all night on the TV. We will be having a video film tonight called 10 Horror Sequels Better Than the Original. And I'm excited to do this because I looked at my top 5. I did a top 10 horror sequels of all time, and I was just looking at the comments on that. And a lot of people said this. One of them got like almost 30 upvotes. It might have been my friend Alexis. I can't remember. But somebody's like, I can't believe part 2's not in this. And I finally had to say something because I kept getting... I finally need to say something, rather, because I keep getting comments about that. I saw a bunch of comments on there about that. The reason I did not have Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 on the top 10 greatest horror sequels of all time is because I was trying to take myself out of the equation a little bit and talk about movies that are truly revered. I think if you asked 100 Elm Street fans, is Part 2 better than Part 1? 95 would say, of course not. I do. But I am making a top 10 horror sequels better than Part 1, and I'm going to be a lot more personal with that list. So you rest assured, for the people that were wondering why I didn't show Part 2 love in that video, you can rest assured that Part 2 will be getting love in the next top 10 list. So I wanted to say that because I don't want people to think like I'm abandoning my love for Elm Street 2. No, not in the slightest. So let's see what people are saying. Did I see the Final Destination 6 trailer? Antonis, I've talked about this a couple of times, but I'll keep saying it because I think we got new people in here and stuff like that. I don't watch trailers. I don't do trailers anymore. If I know it's something I'm interested in, I'm going to see it. I don't watch anything about it. So, no, I did not see the Final Destination 6 trailer, although I am interested in it. I will definitely see it, but no, I did not watch the trailer. Aaron says, everyone hit the like button. I agree. Again, special appearance by Piz tonight. What's the best way to save shelf space in your collection? Don't just buy a bunch of movies, only buy stuff you're genuinely interested in. That's the number one way to save it. No, Joey, I'm going to assume that you're past that point. You've just been collecting for a long time. Box up them DVDs. Or get a spinner shelf. Get a spinner shelf that I got. 500 DVDs, one section, spin it. Spinner shelf saved my ass. That's what I'll say. Spinner shelf shaved my ass. Jeepers Creepers 4K box set. You guys ready to get into are you guys ready to get into my wish list for 2025? Amir says Hellbound better be on the list. Well, Amir, I'm going to keep it spoiler free. I already kind of gave you guys one, which is A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but I'll say this. I love Hellbound. I'll say that. That's fine, Austin. I still refuse to watch teaser trailer. I don't watch trailers. I just don't. To me it's like if I know I'm gonna see it, why rob myself of any imagery from the movie? I'd rather experience it firsthand when I'm sitting in the theater when I pay my money for the ticket. Just a personal choice. Not saying that it's wrong for people to watch, trailers or anything like that. Just my taste. Yeah, that's my horrible speech coming out. Save my ass. Real quick before we get started, Dylan says, are you seeing Hard Eyes this week? I am. I'm going to see Hard Eyes either Thursday or Friday. I have very high expectations on a certain condition. My expectation for Hard Eyes is to simply be a very fun, entertaining movie. Like, I'm not gonna go in getting ready. I'm not gonna go in it to critique character development and crap like that. Like, that's not the way I roll. I've seen images from this from a couple of my latest magazines from Dark Side and whatchamacallit. I never watched any trailers, but I saw some preview interview stuff with the people involved in Rue Morgue and stuff like that. And I like the design of the character. I'm very interested in Hard Eyes. I'm very excited. I just want it to be a very fun movie, and that's where my high hopes comes with it. All right, guys. So let's get into it. All right, guys, now I want you guys to be involved with this. Let's go with our number one. I want everybody to say their number one physical media wish list item, and I'm going to critique everybody's, and everybody can critique my number one. Because my number one's going to surprise you guys. The one thing I'm super excited about, because I actually think it's going to happen this year, on top of me wanting it. Are you guys ready for my number one? Drop a like in the on the video if you're ready for my number one physical media wish list item. So here we go. Are y'all ready? My number one physical media wish list item for 2025 is none other than Dee Snider's Strangeland. I'm going to tell you why I want this to come out. Number one, I want this movie to come out because I truly think it's a fun movie. I think Dee Snider is fantastic as Captain Howdy. Number three, I actually think that the soundtrack to Dee Snider's Strangeland is exceptional. Including people, the Twisted Sister track, Heroes Are Hard to Find, which plays at the end of the film, which is a great Twisted Sister track. And what I'm hoping for is a 4K release of Dee Snider's Strangeland with new interviews with Dee Snider. Because here's the thing y'all have to understand about Dee. My dad raised me on Twisted Sister, and here's what excites me about the idea of a new big release of Dee Snider's Strangeland. Dee Snider was actually broke off his ass during this time. Dee Snider had talked about while he was trying to make his way through the 90s, you know, he couldn't even sell. The irony is now Dee Snider sold the publishing for Twisted Sister's music, I think for somewhere in the vicinity of like $300 or $400 million for the publishing of the catalog of Twisted Sister, okay? But mind you, in the 90s, he got close to selling his publishing for Twisted Sister's discography, or his portion of the publishing, and he said that he couldn't even get pennies on the dollar for the music. So he didn't do it back then, but he was working jobs at that time just to keep food on the table. And so Strangeland came really as a result of necessity to survive. But in actuality, I think Strangeland is actually a fun late 90s movie that was kind of a precursor to, you know, the stuff we would start seeing with the dangers of the internet, you know, the chat rooms, and you don't know who you're talking to online and things like that. So I remember as a kid, I used to see Strangeland, the DVD, all the time on the VHS, the shelf at Blockbuster and all. And I would always see the name Dee Snider, and I would be obsessed with wanting to see the movie. For the people that don't know why I said earlier why I think this is going to happen is because of this. I think I even posted about this on my YouTube channel sometime this past summer. Dee Snider was asked about Strangeland coming out on Blu-ray. Because mind you, there's only a DVD. But Dee Snider was asked about this. And Dee actually said, it is in the works as we speak. We're in talks. We're in negotiations right now with Strangeland coming out. So my money says, it's so funny. Somebody just said Dark Harvest, and I'm looking at this right now. Oh, these movies are terrible. Anyway. So my money says that we're gonna get Strangeland not only this year, but I think it's gonna be a 4K release from. I actually think it's gonna be Vinegar Syndrome. I really do think it's gonna be Vinegar Syndrome, and I hope it is because they'll put the soundtrack on there. I don't think Scream Factory put the soundtrack on there if they got it. All right, so that was my number one. Now let me go through the comments and see what some of y'all's number ones are. And again, drop a like on the stream if you don't mind. All right. Saturn Video says Fright Night 2. I agree about Fright Night 2. I just feel like it's kind of played out. That's why I didn't want to throw that out there first. But we will talk about that because I want to go over the Cinemuseum stuff. And I want to go over, you know, some of the things and how the movie would come out if it does get released. So, I think we did get another super chat. Let me kind of skip the line real quick to do that. Thank you so much, Amir. Super chatted $4.99. Let me give you your clip. I'll give you 2 clips. If it's $4 and above, you get 2 clips.
Buck wild for Easter this year.
All right, Amir, thank you so much. He says, $4.99, top of my wish list is Sunshine from 2007. The Blu-ray is incredible. 4K would be bananas. Sunshine, let me look that up. That sounds familiar. That's not the Jim Carrey movie. That's Eternal Sunshine, right? Yeah, that's a different... You're talking about a different movie. Oh, it's Cillian Murphy! I think I have a DVD of that, dude. I think I saw that in a theater. Wow, I haven't thought about that movie in years. Nice pick, dude. Very nice pick. Thank you so much, Amir. I appreciate that. Let's see. Nothing but Wrestling says Cobra 4K. It's so funny. Like I need to do a case study on how Stallone eats pizza in that movie. Somebody needs to figure out what the fuck he was doing in that. Took out scissors and cut a slice of pizza with gloves on. He had leather gloves on. What's up, Fachi? Good to see you. I wanted to love Cry Wolf so bad. So, this is an interesting thing. Fern actually brings up Lionsgate's 4K for Devil's Rejects. Here's what I think will happen, right? I think you can anticipate the equivalent to what they did with House of a Thousand Corpses 2 years ago. They'll have a steelbook for sure. And they'll also probably do that kind of like, you guys know the release in question, right? That I'm talking about. I mean, I could grab it, but I think you guys know. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? The House of a Thousand Corpses set, the kind of like box set that had the cards in it, very much akin to like, you know, the thickness of like the Arrow Video collector stuff. Very, very similar to that. I think they'll do that and probably have the same artist and stuff like that. And it's like, that's fine, but like I really would like a new interview years later with Rob or Chop Top or something. Because in today's day and age, in 2025, I just don't think that is really cutting it for people. I even said in my review, like, yeah, this is nice, but honestly, like, we put a new sweater on an old toy. Like we put a new shirt on an old toy. We didn't really upgrade much. So I don't know. Like that's what I anticipate is going to happen. Is that. So you hope Stuart Gordon's Fortress gets a Blu-ray this year or 4K. Yeah, he has tattoos and a bunch of piercings. Just look up Captain Howdy Strangeland. That's Dee Snider. Great movie. Dagon or Near Dark. Doesn't Dagon have a Blu-ray from Veshon, or am I thinking of something else? Isn't that Dagon? I thought that had a Blu-ray. Unless you're talking about a 4K. Would like Dark Harvest to get a Blu-ray. Y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me with the Dark Harvest. I agree. Stay Hungry is a great record. Cube is a good one. Cube's pretty underrated. Like that movie never really. I don't feel like that movie kind of broke the cult status that it ever had. What are my thoughts on Freddy vs. Jason and the Nightmare remake being excluded from the 4K set? So I talked about this in my video. I'm gonna reach out to the people that I've been contacting and just see what I can find out on that. My thoughts are that New Line, and again, this is strictly my thoughts. I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I can see this happening. Clearly, Cliff McMillan has built the relationship with Warner to be able to do Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. We know that's coming. We know that's coming. Adam Marcus has said it out loud. He even retweeted a post I made of Jason Goes to Hell and said, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for the Arrow to come out on this." I'm surprised that Arrow never told him to shut his mouth, to be honest with you. But we know that they're doing those two. So if New Line, or if Warner Brothers is doing 1 through 7 in a big steel outer box with separate steel books, I can imagine it's possible that Arrow will also have Freddy vs. Jason on 4K and the remake of Elm Street. It's also possible that neither Freddy vs. Jason or the remake will get a 4K at all for the time being, and maybe those won't come out for some time way down the line. We don't know. We just don't know. It's still very early in the year, so I'm getting a little anxious when it comes to Freddy vs. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, but I got to remember, it's just February right now. We're probably not going to get the announcements of that kind of stuff till probably June, right? Or even July. They very well could be October releases. I hope that's not the case, but it very well could be that. So that's that. But we could talk more about the Elm Street box set tonight for sure. Oh, the 2023 Dark Harvest. I was going to say, are y'all talking about the... What's up, Jess Graham? Good to see you. Good to see you, Jess Graham. It's funny because I never even knew that there was a Hobgoblins 2 until like we did a show on it, and like it's like on Tubi, and I think it was crowdfunded. The stupid stuff people spend their money on. I want to Eraserhead on 4K too. I really do. Well, the interesting thing about this is apparently there was a Blu-ray for Goosebumps, but I don't know if it was homebrew or not. My thing is this. DVD is perfectly fine for Goosebumps. Believe me, I want Goosebumps as much as the next guy, but give me a DVD box set is perfectly fine. Because I forgot who I was talking to, but they kind of backed up what I thought was the case. They probably shot all that stuff on film, probably Super 16, because, you know, those Canadian productions were very, very cheap. Those Canadian productions, they did not spend a lot of money. So what I think they probably did is shot the stuff on Super 16 and then edited it down on like 1-inch tape. So the idea of remastering those is probably difficult. They probably didn't even store any of that film. They probably just threw it all away for those shows. So DVD is fine. Just give me a big DVD box set of Goosebumps with every episode, you know, including like all the Haunted Mask 1, 2. Give me all that stuff. Awesome. I'd be totally fine with that because I want to own it too. There's one Goosebumps episode that I used to love as a kid. It's the girl who went to the library, and the librarian would like turn into this monster alien thing, and she would tell her parents about it. And the parents are like, "Relax, there's nothing to worry about. You're making this crap up." So they invite the librarian to the house to let the girl know you need to stop freaking out. And then the guy gets there, and then the parents turn into aliens at the end and eat the librarian. Good stuff. Oh, there we go. He's saying it'll never happen. I think I even saw somebody say that it is on DVD already. If it is, I need to get it. I think we got a super chat. Let's see. Mr. Deadlights with a $4.99.
I'm gonna go fucking buck wild for Easter this year.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deadlights. $4.99 super chat. We sang happy birthday to Alice at the show tonight, dude. The hero, my hero's birthday today. 77 and better than ever. Better than ever. My hero, Alice Cooper. God bless him. I'm so glad he's kicking ass. He's doing good. My hero, guys. It's the greatest rock and roll icon of all time. If you get the chance to see Alice Cooper live, guys, listen. It's the best show I've ever seen in my life. I've been to a lot of rock shows. I've seen a lot of bands from different eras, and Alice is the best. He just gets you. The whole show. Everything about it. I'm so happy he's healthy. He's doing good. I can't wait to see him again. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's coming too close to me this year. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go to a concert. My goal for 2025 is to see The Cure. Going to try to see The Cure this year. So, thank you so much, Mr. Deadlights. I appreciate that. Let's see. I paid $250 for the original DVD Elm Street box set in 2001. All right, guys. Let's get going to my next one. Now, this one is definitely going to get me in trouble with the audience, but I want you guys to just hear me out with this. All right, so my next physical media wish list is some trash movies tonight. All right, guys, so these are not good movies, but they are good movies in the same breath, if you get what I mean. So, here are two movies I want Vinegar Syndrome to put out, and I'm picking them specifically, but I'd be fine with Severin. Oh, we have another super chat real quick. Thank you so much, Mr. Deadlight. Mr. Deadlight said, thank you again. He did Man Behind the Mask tonight. It was amazing. I've seen him 3 or 4 times, and he's never played it. He's never played it. I'm never that, because that's an alternate song. They have a couple set lists where they do like the staple songs they have to do, and then they have 2 or 3 songs in a set that they swap out for different shows. I've never been on the show where he does Man Behind the Mask. So, I'm jealous, man. If you got a video of it, send it to me. All right, guys, y'all ready? Somebody in the chat will be like, hell yeah, but a lot of you guys will be like, waste of time. But I love bad movies. I want these to have Blu-rays, and I am desperately wanting to see some interviews on the making-ofs of these. I want Vinegar Syndrome or Severin or TerrorVision. I think TerrorVision would do a fantastic job of this to give me Blu-ray releases, special edition releases of the Bloody Murder films. That's what I want. I want Bloody Murder. I want the Bloody Murder films with interviews. I want to know if Paramount came down on them to where they had to not use the hockey mask in part 2. I want to know who came up with the name Trevor Morehouse. I want beautiful high-definition scans of the Bloody Murder films. I think it would be a smash hit. And I actually think TerrorVision would be the right company for this. I think TerrorVision would be the right company for this. Brad, if you're listening, make it happen. So that's that's one. That's another one I want, guys. Is I want the Bloody Murder films. I want Blu-rays. I'm not going to be like 4Ks. They didn't film this on anything worthy of being able to scan it on 4K. Blu-ray's fine, but I need them to track down the people that made these films and spill the tea. I need to know how much Paramount jumped on their ass, or Warner Brothers, because yeah, you see that hockey mask on the front cover, but in the movie, he's got on a blank face. So, and I did do a video on these movies, guys. If just type in Planet CHH Bloody Murder and check the video out, I did on that. So, Michael Nelson, watch my video on that, and then you should check them out. Somebody actually said my next pick. Somebody in the chat actually said my next pick. For Sale Studios says, I don't think they have enough Blu-ray cases in order to meet the demands for the Trevor Morehouse saga. You know what? Like, all bullshit aside, if they made a box set, if they made an actual box set for the Bloody Murder films, like if TerraVision did it, and they hyped it up, and they gave you a bundle with that kind of pseudo Jason hockey mask, the actual like goalie style hockey mask, or at least one style that they had, and it had like Bloody Murder on the like if they let me guys listen, if they let me package this, like if there was a bundle you could get where they bought they bought 5,000 of these hockey masks, and there was like an embroidered Bloody Murder, like the logo, on top of the hockey mask somewhere, and there was a little string that you could dangle it from the ceiling, almost like a display at a movie store, and you got that with a T-shirt of this, a Bloody Murder T-shirt, and tell me if I could help them design the special edition bundle that it would not sell out like crazy. Who wouldn't want that hockey mask with Bloody Murder on the top of it? It'd be a smash success. Austin actually says, I want Wrong Turn Blu-ray box set, or at least well, there is a Blu-ray box set. I'm assuming, Austin, you kind of want like a more premium kind of box set. I'll tell you this, like, I'd be fine with the first two because part 2 is my favorite, and part 1, doesn't Stan Winston work on part 1? Didn't he do the designs in part 1? I'll tell you what's great about part 1 is the Breaking Benjamin soundtrack. The Breaking Benjamin soundtrack in part 1 is fantastic. Great record. My most recent Vinegar Syndrome purchase was a blind buy movie called Sex World. I thought it was going to be a sci-fi erotica, but it ended up being straight porn. Oh, man. My favorite horror movie is Shazam. You know, the one where Shaq plays the genie. What about the one with what about Kazam with Sinbad? Rick Baker. Okay, Rick Baker did the effects. Not Stan Winston. Is that what I said? All right, guys, so before I get to my next one, what is everybody else's next physical media wish list item? Let me know, and I'll critique it. I'll either give you the thumbs up or the thumbs down. By the way, I have 156 people here tonight. Good to see everybody. Thank you for hanging out. It's kind of a later night, but I'm on a late night routine right now, so let me know what you guys want next, and I'll critique it. All right. Sunday says, I want a I Know What You Did Last Summer 4K or a new box set, considering we're getting a new one in July. I Still Know on 4K would be cool too. I'll Always Know is not worthy of 4K. So there is a number of releases out already. I know that I Know What You Did Last Summer has a 4K, and I Still Know does as well, because I have both of those. I also have a really cool... Sunday, you ought to look into this. There's actually an 88 Films Blu-ray box set for the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. That's really cool, and I have that too. I did a review on it as well. So there's actually some cool stuff out there. You know. Mr. Deadlights with a $2 super chat. And he says, Freddy got fingered on 4K. You know what's so funny about you saying that is I actually just watched what's his name? Tom Green. I watched the Tom Green documentary. And it was fantastic. The Tom Green documentary was really, really good. I didn't think it was going to be as emotional as it was, but I highly recommend it. So, I agree. I'd love Freddy Got Fingered on 4K. I absolutely agree with that. 3GP Blingy, what's up, man? Sup CHH, making this hour train ride way better. I'm glad I can do that, dude. Thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome to the show. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Frankie D, what's up, Frankie D? Good to see you. What's up, guys? Just tuned in. Good to have you. No, the Michael Keaton Jack Frost movie is not on 4K, which I know is the one you're referencing. TerraVision or Vinegar Syndrome should do the Granny. This is actually a great one because it's a match made in heaven. Garbage Pail Kids VSU. That really is a match made in heaven. I think that would be a great VSU. I really do. I think if Garbage Pail Kids, because it's funny, I talked about this before. That was the only time I've ever paid out of print prices for a Blu-ray. Was that I paid $50 for the Garbage Pail Kids Blu-ray. And do I regret it? No, because I did a video about this not too long after that. I don't know if you saw this video, Jade. It was a couple years ago now. It was basically a video saying, should you pay for out-of-print prices? And the reality is, sometimes you have to take the gamble, you have to take the risk, and other times you need to know when to fold them, right? You know how that song goes. And I took the gamble with Garbage Pail Kids, and now, a couple years later, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of that $50 out, because time is money, right? So I feel like I actually came out okay with Garbage Pail Kids. But a VSU of Garbage Pail Kids, are you fucking kidding? That would be amazing. So I'll just say this now, but I'm going to keep going with you guys. I'm going to keep going with what you guys are saying, but Movie Misfits actually said one of mine. I would love a Blu-ray collection of the Laid to Rest movies. That's actually was one that I had on my docket. I'm a big fan of Chrome Skull, Laid to Rest 2. I think it's the better one. With a good cast. Daniel Harris jumps on in this one. But I like Laid to Rest as well. These are fun little and I think Sean Whalen. Was Sean Whalen in this? I think he was. I remember Sean Whalen being in this. Yeah, he was. So that's actually another one that I had picked was the Chrome Skull movies. Or the Laid to Rest movies. Stan Rin sent some new designs of the baddies and wrong. Great pick. I want a boutique release for Jennifer's Body. I revisited that movie late last year or early this year, Moonlight, and I had a great time with it. I thought it was really fun. Let the Right One In, Second Sight, 4K. It's a great pick. It's funny how... Have you guys noticed something? Isn't it funny how we can take a title and somehow equate it to what company it should come out with? And it's funny how sometimes we're right when we anticipate stuff. Like, my money says... And I'll get into my next one. I've talked about this already, so you guys are not going to be too surprised by this. But 2025 will see the 4K release of Barbarian from Scream Factory. Because you got to think of it like this. If it was going to be from a major studio, it would have happened by now. Scream Factory is clearly trying to get newer titles, right? They are going to get Barbarian. It makes way too much sense for Scream Factory to go after that title. I could see an Arrow 4K of that, but without a shadow of a doubt, my money says Scream Factory, Barbarian, Match Made in Heaven, they will put it out. And you can take that to the bank. Oh, we got to talk about this. Robert says my most anticipated 4K is coming this year. Night 90. Yesterday was George Romero's birthday. Rest in peace, George. He would have been 85. I'm sad to hear about the Monroeville Mall getting ready to close down. I'm hoping if there's a small chance I can visit it before it's done with. I can't. I think they're doing another kind of Days of the Dead thing there or something, some kind of thing. I saw Michael Felcher talk about that. But yeah, my favorite director of all time, George A. Romero. Amazing human being. The guy was are you kidding me? Icon. One of the greatest horror directors of all time. Always just the best. I love George. God bless him. What can I say? But yes, we have seen, and I have talked about this. Tom Savini, restored 4K Night 90. It's going to be uncut. And the thing of interest that Tom actually said when it came to Night of the Living Dead 1990, and I have a poster of Night 90 right there on the door. I love the film. He exclaimed about wanting to make the intro of the movie black and white and it fade into color in the cemetery. And he talked about time did not permit them to do that sort of thing, but he said that he will go into the movie and do that. Here's the thing. I'm totally happy with Tom doing what he wanted to do. As you guys can see, drop a like. You see the thumbs up right there. But not the problem, but I assume there's going to be a lot of you that will agree with me on this. I still want the theatrical release of the film on 4K, as well as the director's new and improved version. Do not get rid of the theatrical version on this new release. Restore that as well as make you a new and improved version. That's what I have to say about that. Black Christmas 2006. It could be the year, but we say that all the time, you know. Fly 4K. I would love that big time. Can you talk about the Slayer 1982 for Big Crit? I like the Slayer. The Slayer's a slasher film. Arrow Video put that on Blu-ray. I'd be happy with that on 4K. It's kind of a nightmarish kind of film, but it's a little slower. But I reviewed the Slayer way back when it came out. I have a one sheet of the Slayer too. Yeah, guys, pick that up. Arrow Video's the Slayer slasher. I remember they came in on a plane in the beginning of the movie. But it's more it's kind of a nightmarish kind of slasher film. I am too, Horace Baker, nice name. Shaka. It's funny because Umbrella wanted me to review it. They said, hey, we're going to send you the Terrifier set. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, I guess I can because I'm actually interested to actually talk about part 1 on 4K more than anything. So when I get the set, I'm going to really go into that. But now it's funny, like when I get Terrifier, the collection from them, I'm just going to be like, listen, guys, this is an obligation at this point. Nobody's going to watch this and then decide to buy it. Everybody's already decided whether they want this or not. You know, I'm not even going to be able to lie about it. I'm just going to be like, listen, guys, this is an obligated review, an obligated video. Like I can't. It's like, but that doesn't mean I can't really have fun with the review and get into watching part 1 on 4K and all that because I am very excited about that. I do get closer to losing my shit. Let me just play it one more time. Blockbuster box sets. What's going on, man? Guys, Blockbuster box sets is awesome. Me and him have gotten to know each other over the last 5 or 6 months. Great guy. Go check out his channel. He's making a lot of videos, and it's funny. I'm trying to get him to do something. I'll keep it private because it's not something I don't think he's talked about publicly yet. But he asked me about what kind of box set would he like for me to be seen created by him, and I told him. But he hasn't made that public yet, so I won't make it public since it's not my position to do that. But I think it would be awesome if he did this. So we'll see. We'll see. Whenever he goes public with it, if he decides to do it, then I'll talk about it. Darkroom, how are you? Stage fright. Stage fright is one, yeah. Christian, is there anything you want on your collectibles wish list? That's a great question. One of these days I'm going to break down and get one of those Trick or Treat Studios 1/6 scale Michael Myers figures. I think they look really nice. One of these days I'm going to break down and get one when they go really cheap. One of these days I'm going to break down and grab one of those. All right, guys, I'm way behind on comments, so I'm going to start going way down to the bottom and kind of restart. Dale does say something of interest. Can we get a Dawn of the Dead 4K American release, brother? I would love that. I really would. I really would love that. Hellraiser Inferno. I mean, come on. I think the first 4 on 4K is fine. That's just me. Halloween, Howling 4 through 7, getting a box set like those Lady Amiibo series from VC would be rad. It's funny because guess who's always talking about that? Him. He's Pizzal is always asking for a Howling box set. I think he even did a video about this topic and said that a couple weeks ago. Excuse me, guys. Is it true Tom Savini's disrespectful to fans? There's definitely been some stories of him being just kind of like dry and kind of kind of rude. But it's funny because I almost feel guilty. He was so nice to me and so kind to me. I had the best experience with him. I also have a great icebreaker for people that go to conventions and they get nervous about going up to the table. I have a great icebreaker. I'll tell you guys this real quick. If you're going to a convention, you're going to see somebody at a table, and you're going to get a picture for them to sign. Walk up, and whoever it is, in this instance, it's be Tom Savini, and say, "Hi, Tom. It's really great to see you. I'll be honest. I'm having a little trouble picking on one of these pictures. Do any of these stand out to you that you like the most?" And that always works. The actor always says, "Oh, you know what? This was a great moment when I was doing," and then they'll talk about one of the pictures that they like the most, and then boom, it worked because I hate awkward moments, but that always works. So, let's scroll down, guys. I'm so behind on comments. What's up, CHH? I hope for a better release of The Redeemer, a.k.a. Class Reunion Massacre soon. I don't even think I own that, Twisted Trucker. What's up, DJ Forecast? This is not a joke. Do you have and which 4K is the best of Disney animation in your opinion? Thank you. I'm really not the right person to ask on that, DJ. I'm not into Disney stuff that much. I think I have a rare Disney Blu-ray. I could be wrong. Sydney bought a bunch back in the day. We have with the slipcover and everything. I could be talking way out of my ass on this. But we have that Fantasia 2000 movie with like this nice slipcover on it on Blu-ray, which I think is out of print. I think a lot of those Disney ones are out of print. I could be off on that though. But as far as like 4Ks of the animation stuff. I don't have a whole lot of that. I really don't. Nothing against it. It's just I don't, you know, I just don't have a lot of that. Allie, how are you? Good to see you. Make that a super chat clip. Well, somebody timestamp it in the video afterwards, and I'll make it a super chat clip. I think it might have been, because like I said, I look, I've heard it's funny because Tom even wrote about that in his latest coffee book. Tom Savini did a coffee book 2 or 3 years ago, and I got the coffee book and I read it. And he actually talked about he's like kind of perplexed that he hears people say he's mean, because he's like, I try not to be, but he acknowledges it. So I don't know. All right, guys, I think all right, we're down to the bottom of the list. Now let's go to our next recommendation. All right, guys, so this is one that I have the DVD for this, but there is a Blu-ray for this. It is out of print. This movie needs a 4K this year. And the movie in question is none other than Michael Mann's Manhunter. One of my favorite 80s films of all time. My favorite Michael Mann film of all time. Scream Factory does have a Blu-ray for this. I have it with slip, because I was a G that bought it when it came out, unlike everybody else who probably didn't even know what the hell the movie was. But I did get Manhunter. And I also have this lovely Anchor Bay DVD, as well as this fantastic. So there's this Anchor Bay DVD, and then there's this limited edition chunky DVD for Manhunter. So I am Manhuntered out. But with that being said, people, it's time for Manhunter to come back into the fold. Now, the question is, who should put out Manhunter? Kino Lorber should put out Manhunter. Kino Lorber should put out Manhunter, because then they will have every Craig Thomas novel book movie of the series, right? They will have it all. They will have Silence, Red Dragon, and Hannibal. But wait a minute. Kino needs to do Hannibal Rising. Kino needs to do Hannibal Rising. But they're not going to, because Lionsgate is not going to let that go. Lionsgate put that out on Blu-ray last year. So Linda Blair is pleasant if you start off by showing her your cat's photos. Thomas Harris. What did I say? Craig Thomas? I'm so bad with names. Absolutely call me crazy, but I prefer Manhunter over Silence. It'd be one of the best looking 4Ks of all time. We need it. See, I'm totally with you if you say Red Dragon, because to me, Manhunter is like the personality version of Red Dragon. But Silence of the Lambs, to me, is a bona fide masterpiece. I don't know many movies that are better than Silence, so I'd push back a little bit on that. For me, I'd say Silence is still one of the best movies of all time, but I think Manhunter is definitely the second best out of that whole series. It's so stylish and so well done with Tom Noonan. I absolutely love it. I love Red Dragon too, though. Like, I think Red Dragon's good, but I also think Brian Cox brings the right kind of performance to Manhunter. The focus is really on... In Manhunter, the focus is truly on Tom Noonan. And Brian Cox's performance as Lecter is great, but it's not... Obviously, in Red Dragon, people are really there to see Hannibal Lecter. But in Manhunter, I find the balance to be way more well-rounded to the story itself, as opposed to, yes, we get to see... In Red Dragon, I think there is a little bit of... Yes, we get to see Lecter behind the glass again. So, Manhunter's amazing. Aaron Click says Hell Knight be a good 4K. Hell Knight's I have a weird relationship with Hell Knight. Like, it's kind of a haunted house movie. It's kind of a slasher film. It's kind of a monster movie, right? It's got a good cast. I just feel there's something slightly missing with Hell Knight. It's hard to dislike it, though. Like, I like Hell Knight. I think Scream Factory did a great job with their Blu-ray, which I have. And I'm very happy with their Blu-ray. I just feel like there's something missing with Hell Knight. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe it's just they need to make the movie move a little bit faster. But thank you, Frankie D. Yeah. Savage Streets, yes. 4K of Savage Streets would be fantastic. Who's a better Hannibal, Brian or Anthony? I mean, Anthony made the role iconic, but I think Brian does a good job as a ensemble way in Manhunter. Manny says, we've all had that moment where we realize we have to downsize our collections, right? Like, I caught myself buying films I've never even seen, and it's not affordable. That is a problem that we deal with. You have to... like that. Here's the thing, Manny. Like, I'll have people... I've been doing this, collecting horror movies, not just horror, also, 90s films, action films, new movies. But I've been collecting movies since 2009. And some people will see my wall of horror in here, and they'll say, that's what I want. And I try to stop people, and I'll say, no. That's not what you want. You want to build a collection of movies that you're inspired by, and don't just try to fill a wall, because then you're literally throwing money down your toilet. Just buy movies that you're interested in as they're coming out. I use Shudder a lot. Like, there was a movie, let me give you an example. There was a movie that Joe Lynch directed a year or so ago called Suitable Flesh. And I was really interested in the film. And I was like, I'm going to get the Blu-ray for this. But I was like, wait a minute. That's available on Shudder. So let me go watch the movie on Shudder. So I watched Suitable Flesh on Shudder. And guess what? I was like, okay, I like this. I'll definitely want to watch this. So then I bought it that way. The problem is blind buying is dangerous, because what happens is if you start to blind buy on a routine basis, like I see people do it a lot of times they just never even end up watching the movie. And it's a double-edged sword, because some people don't want to watch the movies out of fear of watching the movies and realizing, holy shit, I hated this. Why did I buy it? It's a problem. It's a problem. There is some trappings with being a physical media collector. There's definitely trappings with that. Here's the thing. I did a video about this earlier this year, which it's still early in the year. But my point is, I don't want people to look at my channel as a physical media review channel. When I review titles, I will talk about, like for instance, I told you guys I watched this, I enjoyed it. I'm going to talk about the picture quality and the special features. 85% of it, I'm going to be talking about the movie. 85% of this, I'm going to be talking about the movie and telling you guys what I thought about it. Because at the end of the day, and I think everybody here can agree, movie first, then details later. Movie first. Because sometimes I find myself falling down that rabbit hole and that trap of just being like, let's compare it to this, let's compare it to that. And I don't want myself to be that kind of channel. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but it's the movies that I fell in love with. And physical media is a way for me to talk about the movies that I love. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm lost in the chat again. Godzilla is a night. Godzilla versus Biollante is a great start, but we also need the rest of the Heisei movies on 4K. Well, look, I'm glad that they're doing that one first, because quite frankly, I think that's probably the best Heisei movie. Biollante is probably one of the greatest villains in the Godzilla series. I mean, come on. And I like the artwork that they did. The artwork that they did is fantastic on that Criterion. It's fantastic. Dropping in to say what's good. What's going on, Nick? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. What else we got? Sorry, guys. The chat's just out of here. I don't even. I think it's funny because your Podgoblin buddy earlier said that, but I don't even actually know if there is a Blu-ray for that movie. Now I'm just curious. Let me just look it up. Maybe there's a DVD or Blu-ray. Not that I'm going to watch it. All right, Blu-ray.com. There's only a DVD. A 2009 DVD release. God, that artwork is pathetic. Is that a Girl Scout? Hobgoblins 2 is done in the style of Grindhouse. It was made to look like 1980s cheesy horror film, down to having its own fake trailers included. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Christian, I would love to see Alien Nation with James Caan get a 4K. Dude, anything with James Caan, I'd love to see on 4K. It's funny, I just watched Thief with James Caan. Shout out to my buddy Kyle who sent me that Criterion release of that. Oh, guys, son of a bitch. I want to show y'all a Blu-ray that my buddy Kyle sent me, and I need you guys to see this. Where the fuck did I put it? All right, guys, I want to show y'all this movie. Hold on. All right, check this out. This found footage movie is fucking awesome. I didn't even know it had a Blu-ray. It was streaming on Shudder, but my buddy Kyle actually hooked me up. I guess I talked about this before. It's called Found Footage 3D. Has anybody seen this? And here's the crazy thing. This Blu-ray of Found Footage 3D actually has a 3D version and comes with glasses. There's a 2D version and a 3D version. Oh, it's a DVD and Blu-ray, but it has a 3D and 2D version available. And this is a Shudder Blu-ray, but I think they just put it out themselves because the side just says Shudder on the Blu-ray. But this movie is freaking awesome. Like, when it comes to found footage horror, this one is so entertaining. I love it. I don't know if anybody's seen this. Found Footage 3D. So good. It's so goddamn good. It's like, it moves like a freight train. I really recommend it. Christian, what are 3 4K shot on film that you could stare at for how perfect the picture is? Great question. Number 1 is always going to be The Shining. I think The Shining is one of the best 4Ks ever made. Number 2, believe it or not, is actually going to be Halloween 2. I'm serious. I actually think Halloween 2 is a fantastic 4. What I love about Halloween 2 on 4K is when you see Michael walking through the back streets in the beginning of the film, by the houses and stuff, you can actually see the paint chippings on the siding of the house. And it's funny, like, I'll talk about how great 4K can look like especially in daytime outdoor scenes. But when you see 4K work its magic at night, dude, the Halloween 2 4K, I'll never watch that film anyway, but besides that 4K, the Halloween 2 4K is one of my favorites. And I didn't think it was going to be one of my favorites when all the Halloween 4Ks were coming out. The most impressive Halloween 4K is definitely H2O in terms of how much of an impressive jump it was. Every Halloween H2O release before the 4K was shit. I don't even think the aspect ratios were right for Halloween H2O. So the 4K for Halloween H2O is absolutely stunning. It's fantastic. But the one that impresses me the most is Halloween 2. I love the way it looks in the beginning. And the third one is God, that's a great question. I'll tell you another 4K that really impressed me. Let me grab it. I'm going to show you guys. I mean, it really impressed me. All right, guys. So, when it comes to Scream Factory releases, especially their 4K stuff, there are definitely titles that when they get announced, people get really excited about. And sometimes they throw some 4K titles out there that just like, okay, I guess they're just kind of going through their library. This is the most underrated Scream Factory 4K of all time. People that bought this will say, I was impressed by that. I'm sure of it. But the people that passed on this because they just didn't think it would have been something, to get, heed my words. The most impressive Scream Factory 4K, the one that blew me away with how good it was. Y'all ready for this? Was the Funhouse. The Funhouse was one of the most holy shit 4Ks from Scream Factory's line. I was blown away by how impressive the Funhouse looked. Which, mind you, I think most people like the Funhouse. It's a classic Tobe Hooper movie. But, dude, I mean, this movie looked phenomenal on 4K. So if you passed on this because you were just like, because it's not really I don't know if you would consider it a main event Tobe Hooper movie or not. That's something for you to decide. But if you passed on it, reconsider it. This 4K was unbelievable. Unbelievable. John Carpenter is an acquaintance, and I'm scared to tell him I prefer H. Mr. Jello, what's up, dude? Who loves movies? Good to see ya. Would love to have Blood Beach and Mr. Frost on Blu-ray. Both are stuck on VHS. I know it. I would too. I really would. Guys, we're at an hour and 15 minutes. We'll go a little bit longer. I'm here with you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out. I would ask this. Drop a like while I have you guys here. Drop a like. I would appreciate it while you're in here. I'm really going to try to start going live more and make it part of my channel, make it part of my content so I can have a more one-on-one relationship with my audience. So, but I'm so happy. Like, my internet's fine. Like, you guys have gone through the ups and downs with me over the last couple years with my internet. I was using Ethernet cables, running them through the house, but I didn't realize that my internet that I was using was just shit internet. I had a cheap plan. Then I went up to the biggest plan in the world, and I was spending way too much money on internet. Come to find out, I didn't need that much internet, so I adjusted it to where I have a really good price and a really good rate now with my internet. But StreamYard goes higher, so now I'm using Restream, which still isn't super cheap, but it's cheaper. But I think the layout is good. I think you guys agree that the layout for this is fine with the comments, and I can still do the super chat clips and all that. But I got freaked out with the last time. I think he's asleep. He has work early in the morning. RoboCop 2 looks really good in 4K. I agree. I thought RoboCop 2 was great. I'm hoping they announce 3 any day now. You know, there you go. The deep blacks and rich colors pop. The Funhouse is just fantastic. Christian, why do you never show any love for the MTV Films classic Joe's Apartment? What the hell are you talking about, Joe's Apartment? Jerry O'Connell? I've never seen this. This is a Warner archive? Sex, Bugs, and Rock and Roll? Dude, I've never even heard of this. This is a Warner archive Blu-ray. Based on the popular short film, this comedy focuses on Joe, Jerry O'Connell, a young man who moved from Iowa to downtown New York City. After settling into his grimy apartment, Joe discovers that it is home to a legion of talking and singing cockroaches. Oh, God. That sounds insanely ridiculous. Although having so many bugs for roommates has its drawbacks, Jill finds the roaches to be friendly and good-natured. And they aid him in wooing the lovely Lily, Megan Ward, as well as contending with his mean landlord. $13 million budget, $4 million. Poor Jerry. Jerry doesn't deserve that. I've never even heard of that, dude. Do I? Thank God. Thank God. Pizzon needs to pay me for all the promotion I gave him tonight. I had every video. I had this huge playlist of him playing tonight. I'm so glad I look and sound good. Like I said, the last time where I did the Rumpelstiltskin video, thankfully Cody was there to save my ass, but I was trying to update my computer while stream, and that was just a horrible decision. So we should be solid as a rock tonight. Thank God. Scream Factory normally does great on their 4K transfers. I just wish they would at least give me reversible cover art. Just nitpick. It's like that was the thing about the Blu-ray era, dude. There was a reason it was the golden era, William. I'm just gonna give it to you straight, dude. They did it perfect. New artwork on the slip, original artwork on the, you could reverse the original artwork to the cover. Thank you so much. Manny, $1.99. Let me give you super chat clips.
Buck wild for Easter this year.
Thank you so much, Manny. $1.99. Gotta go, but keep up the great work. Thank you, dude. Thank you for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Sleepaway Camp could look great on 4K if they have the OG negatives. I agree. I'd be fine with Sleepaway Camp. I could see that coming to 4K. Sequels is a different story, especially since they just got Sandblaster pictures, whatever the hell they're called. Sandblaster, right? But Sleepaway Camp, the original, needs to come out in 4K. You could do a new, Felissa Rose commentary on that, You could do there's a lot you could do. What's up, Hate X? What's up, CHH? Good to see you. Guys, we still got 150 people in here. There's a lot of stuff I could bring up still that I would like to see come to 4K. I'll just kind of run through some of them. I want The Stuff to come to 4K. Larry Cohen's The Stuff, one of my all-time favorite movies. I would like to see The Entity come to 4K. A great 80s movie that's truly disturbing. If anybody's heard and seen The Entity, I think it's 1982. Absolutely astonishing movie. I'd like to see a little bit more Van Damme. I think we talked about this. I might stream tomorrow night, too, with you guys, and I'll go do a stream in the 80s room, and we'll talk more about Van Damme tomorrow night. How's that sound, guys? There's a lot of stuff, though, guys. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me, though, is, finishing off the Fridays, too. I mean, I'm so glad that they're... my thing is this. I want them to do the Steelbook for Part 5 for the 40th anniversary this year. Just do a Steelbook for Part 5. Put the VHS art on the cover. Make it $19.99 or $14.99, whatever you want to charge. Under $20. Because they did them for the first 4, obviously because they were trying to, milk the new scans. And that's fine. But do Part 5. Do a Steelbook for Part 5. Debbie Does Dallas. Night Flyer. Yeah, Night Flyer is good. The Void has great German media book releases, but a 4K box. Yeah, dude, The Void is amazing. The Void is amazing. Dead Man on Campus, maybe my favorite MTV film. I'd have to look at the list of movies that they did. Christian, are you into the Tron movies? I'd like to see them get the 4K treatment. I like the is there sequels? I know that there's the original Tron movie from '82, right? Like, I like that, but I don't know if there's sequels. I don't know if there's sequels. Three-Headed Shark is Van Damme's best Van Damme movie. I know Midnight Mass actually got a DVD. Or one of his shows got a DVD. Off topic, but I just watched The Seven Curse, which Vinegar Syndrome put out in January. Crazy effing movie. The creature effects are up your alley. CHH. It's streaming free on Tubi and Plex. I feel like I have that movie. Let me see. Oh, that's that. Is that a Korean movie that they just put out? You're talking about this, right? Let me see. Let me see if this pulls up. That way we can, I need to test this out anyway. Right here. Seventh Curse? Is that what you're talking about? Witch from Nepal? Hong Kong. Director of Rikio. I almost bought this, guys. I almost bought this movie. You know what's funny, AD? The artwork on that new World War Z steelbook is fucking amazing. Like, I kind of want that. That steelbook looks amazing. All right, so somebody mentions Umbrella. I need to ask the audience this. Guys, I need somebody to tell me this. I either imagined this or I did. I pre-ordered whatchamacallit from Umbrella? Hardware. Where the fuck is Hardware? When is Hardware coming out? Hardware. Didn't everybody else order that from 4K? When is that coming out? March? March? I ordered Hardware in like fucking October. What? I feel like I ordered Hardware like a year ago. Did anybody else order that? Jesus Christ, man. March? Oh, so I've heard from a few people that Ninja Turtles is coming to 4K this year. I heard that from a few people. Do you know how fucking excited I will be when Ninja Turtles comes out? I want the rated R cut. You guys know that supposedly there was this German media book that has the harsher rated version of Ninja Turtles, where apparently Splinter stabs Shredder before he gets down into the waste truck. Is what I heard. But I want Ninja Turtles 2 as well. Hell, give me 3. Fuck it. But the thing is, if they do Ninja Turtles 3, they better not add Turtles in Time to the name. I don't know when that shit started, but it annoys the piss out of me. It's not Ninja Turtles 3 Turtles in Time. That's the video game. The movie's just called Ninja Turtles 3. Yeah, I can't believe it's March, man. It's insane. I need Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island on 4K. Hell yeah, Sean. Sean Muldowney. Splinter was dropping F-bombs. No, Joker. I gotta watch that. I keep seeing the previews for that. Or not previews, but like, you know, promotion stuff for it. Have you watched Dark Match yet with Chris Jericho as a crazy cult leader who runs a wrestling promotion? I gotta see that. You just made the list! You said something about the mall closing. Will you elaborate, please? Yeah, let me get Michael Felsher's Facebook post. I'll show you. Because he said it was something about Walmart was... He said something about Walmart was buying it, the mall. All right, here we go. I'll show you guys what Michael Felsher said about the mall. Let me get rid of the chat for a second. All right, can you guys see that? Let's do this. All right, there we go. Let me just read this to y'all real quick. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. The sad reality, though, is that for a long time, I've known deep down that the mall would likely see its final days during my lifetime. From the crowded venue that I experienced in '94, the mall in recent years has seen a dramatic downturn in foot traffic. It's now to the point where even on a Saturday night, you would mistake the number of mall walkers for a weekday morning. There are hundreds of parking spaces on that property that haven't seen an automobile action within their line since the early 2000s. The slow and steady decline in shoppers isn't unique to Monroeville, of course. Mall culture has been on the decline for the last couple of decades. We just don't shop the same way we used to. Between big box stores and the erosion of physical shopping experiences due to the internet, the mall concept has fallen out of favor and out of step with modern culture. Perhaps it was inevitable. I was a small kid born in '73. And my childhood was centered around the various malls. They were shopping destinations, of course, for me. They were social magnets, a place where friends could gather, play games, talk, take in movies, just generally spend time with each other. The social component of the mall experience is really the only aspect of it that is endured to this day, thanks to the annual Living Dead weekend celebration every summer. My trips to Monroeville Mall exist so that me and my friends can join in memories of George Romero, Dawn of the Dead, and also a number of shared experiences we have through our lives. This especially, all right. And now it seems that this place, this wonderful living movie set and memory bank, might be seeing its final days and making room for something else. It's obviously too early. This is what I was referencing. It's obviously too early to say definitively what Walmart's plans are for the property, but the chances of the mall staying open in its current form are pretty slim in my estimation. There is a sadness attached to that, of course. The place is a singular venue for all of us. It's portable that allows us to walk inside. So I think what he's saying is the Walmart bought the property or something of the Monroeville Mall, and I guess they don't know what's happening to it. Let me read this to you. And yet I'm finding it hard to consider the possible end of the Monroeville Mall as an overwhelming tragedy. This is how it goes. This is commerce. The mall was created those decades ago to provide the public a place to spend their money and acquire things they needed or wanted. It was a boom to the local economy. It served a specific purpose and did its job so well. Now its time has come. We've moved on as a culture. And truthfully, that property could be utilized in a way that would be exponentially more beneficial to the local population and Monroeville's bottom line. It's regrettably hard for me to come up with an argument for keeping the mall as it is that doesn't boil down to, but Dawn of the Dead was made here and I love it. In the end, I keep thinking about how George would have taken the news. I think he would still be reeling from the knowledge that a bust of him resides in the mall now, but I can almost hear his reaction to the potential end of his former shooting location. Well, man, nothing lasts forever. What are you going to do? So for now, I'm simply going to enjoy the time we have left. There will at least be, this is what I was saying, I hope I can go. There will at least be one more Living Dead weekend in 2025. Probably won't bring too many changes, but who knows? So what it sounds like, guys, is it sounds like the mall was purchased by Walmart, and they are gonna do something with the mall, I guess. So, anyway, what are my hopes? We'll end the show with this. What are my hopes with the steel design of the Elm Street box set? Cover the franchise in the box set well. Show different designs of Freddy from parts 2, 3, 4, 5, and Freddy's Dead and New Nightmare. Pay reverence to the series, because there's no definitive favorite Elm Street movie. You got people who love part 1. You got a lot of people who love part 3, which I think part 3 may be the fan favorite overall. But then you got a lot of people who love New Nightmare, and that's their favorite. The Elm Street franchise, a lot like the Friday franchise, there's no true definitive best favorite entry. There's camps for different ones. There's a couple different camps for the Elm Street fans. There is the 1, 3, and New Nightmare camp. Then there's the 2, 4, and 5, which is me. I'm a 2, 4, and 5 camper, which those are my favorite ones. Then there's, the people that champion and love Freddy's Dead, which I do as well. But that my point is, there's different kinds of Elm Street fans. There's different camps, if you will. That's not to say that you don't enjoy all of them, but, you know, I just hope they represent the series well on the set and not just shove a bunch of images of part 1 on there. All right, guys, listen. Drop a like before you go. 150 people in here still. God bless you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. You guys make these shows so fun. I really do appreciate you guys. I'm going to watch Backcountry tonight. Excited about that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Restream and you like this layout. It seems to work for me, so I'm hoping it works good for you guys and this is comfortable for y'all. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. So, drop a like. I'm going to go review Street Trash, top 10 sequels that are better than the original for horror, and that kind of good stuff. So stick with us this week, guys. I got a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to check out Hard Eyes this week, Planet Dirty Saturday night. The Valentine is a Fantastic Slasher 7-Up Shirley Temple show. And I'll stream again. I might stream tomorrow night. I might fuck around and stream tomorrow night. Y'all got to be ready. Thank you guys for hanging out. God bless you guys.